I watched a friend of mine fail. They were repeating the exact same mistake, caught in a cycle playing out on an endless loop. Breaking a cycle requires us to look at the machinery driving it. Avoidance isn't an accident. It is a coordinated defensive maneuver executed by a brain that prefers immediate comfort over long-term clarity. Think of your choices as entries in a psychological ledger. On one side, immediate comfort. On the other, future clarity. When you opt for a short-term escape hatch, you borrow directly from your future clarity. This is reflection debt. We initiate these transactions through common escape hatches, doom scrolling for hours, making impulsive life pivots, or burying ourselves in overwork. These short-term distractions function as a loan taken out against your future self. When we refuse to sit with the sting of a professional failure or the friction of an unresolved conflict, that emotional energy doesn't evaporate. It is stored. Holding on to that unresolved friction leads to emotional stunting and increased volatility when new pressures arrive. This chart shows a reflection audit. It's looking at data from past choices, identifying execution failures, and adjusting strategy for the next run. Remove the audit and you lose the pivot. Skipping this review creates decision paralysis, locking you into a repetitive loop. Without systematically reviewing the hard data of our past, we forfeit the ability to change our future execution. Curious, why do we allow this cycle to continue even as the debt mounts? The brain acts as an expert defense attorney, masking active avoidance as a legitimate need or a well-deserved break. These are defensive tripwires. We fall into productive procrastination, the illusion that high activity equates to actual progress. We stay busy to avoid the specific work that actually matters. This graph illustrates the danger of waiting for a moment of sudden, dramatic realization. While you wait for a wake-up call that never crosses this threshold, the hidden debt quietly compounds. Evasion hides behind the mask of vital busyness, while the psychological debt silently accumulates. Recognizing your tripwires is only a defensive victory. Stopping the debt requires an offensive strategy. Unstructured good intentions will be swallowed by high dopamine distractions. To succeed, you need structural systems. First, create time between projects. Force a micropause before starting a new task to halt your kinetic momentum, and look at the execution of what you just finished. Second, use scheduled think time. Put a non-negotiable 30-minute block on your calendar each week. No phone, no internet, just you and a list of your current problems. Third, use structured journaling. Writing forces vague, defensive thoughts into objective data points that you can actually analyze. These rigid structures provide the friction necessary to bypass the brain's instinct to escape discomfort. During your scheduled reflection time, use guided inquiry to isolate the friction in your ledger. Ask 3 specific questions. 1. What hard truth did I actively avoid today? 2. What habit or distraction am I leveraging to numb a specific feeling? And 3. If I had to execute this exact day over again, what one variable would I change? Whether our escape hatch is a video game, an impulsive fresh start, or a smartphone screen, the underlying mechanism is identical. We are all trying to outrun the friction of facing our own realities. Growth begins when we stop outrunning that friction, face our reality, and finally balance the psychological ledger.